Hi, my friends. Today I want to share a new story with you. I hope you enjoy it. I had just finished setting the dinner table when my phone buzzed on the counter. I looked at the screen and saw a name that always made me nervous, Mom. I waited a moment before picking it up, holding on to the table for support. I had a bad feeling about the call. Hi, Mom, I said, trying to sound cheerful even though I wasn't. Ellie, sweetie, we need to talk about Thanksgiving, she said in an unusually happy voice. That alone made me suspicious. My mom only sounded this upbeat when she had something I wouldn't like. Okay, I said, already feeling anxious. What's going on? She paused for a moment. It felt awkward. This year, we're changing things up a bit, she said. It's going to be a smaller group, just the adults, a quiet get-together. I frowned. Oh, so no kids? My heart sank. Emma and Lucas loved going to their grandparents' house for Thanksgiving. Even though my relationship with my parents wasn't perfect, I'd hoped family tradition still mattered. There was another pause. Then she said more carefully, not exactly. A heavy feeling grew in my chest. What do you mean? I asked, my voice softer, though I felt a storm building inside. Mom sighed, like she was the one having a hard time. Ellie, we love your kids, we really do, but they have so much energy. We just think it would be better if you got a babysitter this year. I held the phone tighter. So, just my kids? What about Daniel's? I asked, though I already knew the answer. Daniel, my older brother, the favorite, the one who could do no wrong. His kids were always seen as perfect. Mine, not so much. Mom paused. Daniel and Sophie are bringing their boys, she finally said, but you know how calm they are, they're quieter, easier to have at dinner. Heat rushed to my face. They're kids, Mom, I said, trying to stay calm. Emma's 7, Lucas is 4. Of course they're full of energy, but they love you, and now you're saying they're not welcome? Ellie, don't be so dramatic, she said with a tired sigh. It's just one dinner. You and Liam are still invited. I let out a dry laugh. You mean you want me, but not the two people I care about most? We just want a calm evening, she snapped. Why do you always make everything so hard? Her words stung. This wasn't just about Thanksgiving. It was about years of her treating Daniel's family like royalty, and mine like an afterthought. They missed Emma's recital. They gave Daniel's kids bigger Christmas gifts. And now they weren't even pretending to be fair. I kept my voice steady. If my kids aren't welcome, then neither am I. There was a long silence. Then she let out a sharp breath. Fine, suit yourself. She hung up. I stood still, phone in hand. The room felt too quiet. From the living room, I could hear Emma and Lucas laughing, building a pillow fort, completely unaware that their grandparents didn't want them there. I took a deep breath. All my life, I'd tried to please my parents, but for what? If I let this go, what would that teach my kids? No, they don't get to treat us like we don't matter. They made their choice, now I had to make mine. The next morning, I got a text from Daniel. It was short and smug. Mom says you're overreacting again, just say sorry and stop being dramatic. I stared at the screen, then locked my phone. I had nothing more to say. Later, Mom called. I let it ring. Then she called again, and again. Finally, a voicemail. Her tone was cold, like she was the one who'd been wronged. Ellie, I don't know why you're acting like this. You're still invited, just not the kids. It's not a big deal, just come. I clenched my jaw. Not a big deal? My children weren't something I could leave behind like a coat. By lunchtime, I decided to do something real. I opened my bank app and looked through the charges. Groceries, gas, online shopping, things I didn't buy. Then I saw the name on the account. It was my parents. They'd been using my credit card. 4 years. My heart pounded. I had always helped them, always been there when they needed something. And now this, treating my kids like they didn't matter while using my money. That was it. I picked up the phone and called the bank. I need to remove 2 authorized users from my account, right now. When I hung up, I felt lighter. The ties were cut, no more being used. I wasn't under their control anymore. Almost like he sensed it, Daniel texted again. Mom's really upset. You're taking this too far. I took a deep breath and typed, they made their choice, now I'm making mine. Then I blocked his number. A week went by with no messages. I thought maybe they finally understood, until my mom's name popped up early one morning. I paused, then answered. Oh, now you decide to pick up, she said. I have a question. Did you cancel the credit card? My stomach dropped. What? Your dad's card, the one we use for groceries and gas. It got declined. Cold realization hit me. You mean my credit card? She scoffed. Ellie, stop being dramatic. We've been using it for years. You make good money. My hand shook. They had been using my account for years, without telling me, while treating my children like they didn't count. You were stealing from me, I said. Stealing? She laughed sharply. We raised you. This is the least you could do. I steadied my voice. Not anymore. Ellie, don't. I hung up. Then I logged into my account. Thousands of dollars. All spent by them. But not anymore. 2 days later, an envelope came in the mail. It was thick and stamped with a law firm's name. My stomach twisted as I opened it. It was a demand for repayment. They claimed they were owed money for raising me. Tens of thousands of dollars. I held the letter, barely breathing. This was how they chose to fight back. My phone rang again, an unknown number. I let it go to voicemail. Then a text from Daniel. You can't just cut them off. They're our parents. I stared at it, fury rising. Where was this concern when they ignored my kids? When they used my money without asking? Minutes later, Mom called again. I picked up. You're really doing this? She snapped, dragging us to court. I let out a dry laugh. You're the ones who sent the legal letter. She sighed. You owe us, Ellie. We gave up so much for you. No, I said. I owe my kids better. Silence. Then she muttered, you'll regret this. I hung up. But I didn't regret anything. Only felt more certain. This was a fight, and I was ready. The court date got closer. I had proof, bank records, every stolen cent. They thought I would give up. But not this time. The night before the hearing, Daniel called. Just stop this, Ellie. It's not worth it. I gripped the phone. Not worth it? They tried to ruin me. They even tried to take my kids away, saying I was unfit, because I'd lost my job and was struggling to keep a roof over our heads. They're still our parents, he said softly. No, I replied. They stopped being parents when they chose money over us. He went quiet, then said. Then I guess this is the end. The next morning, they didn't show up. Instead, their lawyer sent an email, a settlement offer. They wanted it all to go away, if I agreed to drop it. I stared at the message. Then I closed it. I had already won. I looked at my kids and smiled. Who wants pancakes? They cheered. And for the first time in years, I felt free. Friends, what did you think of this story? Leave a comment below. Want more stories like this? Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell so you never miss a video. See you tomorrow.